July when Judge Jerry Collins ordered the woman to explain why she didn't appear for trial. The woman apologized, saying she suffered from depression and anxiety since the attack.
Why didn't you show up to court?
I'm just, my anxiety, and I'm just...
You think you're going to have anxiety now? You have extreme anxiety. We had a jury, 6 people there, ready to try Mr. who has a prior criminal history of domestic violence.
Obviously, we've protected the identity of the woman. You hear her there. She sobs when the judge sentences her to 3 days in jail for contempt of court.
Turn around.
Judge, I'll do anything. Please, please.
You should have showed up, and you should have showed
I
up.
have a 1-year-old son, and I'm trying to take care of him by myself. I'm begging you, please don't. Please.
I've already issued my...
Joining me now, Leslie Morgan-Steiner. She's an advocate for survivors of domestic violence and a survivor herself, which is told in her book, Crazy Love. Leslie, what is your reaction to what happened in court there?
Well, Tamron, it's a heartbreaking case, and it shows 3 terrible obstacles that domestic violence victims face when we go to court. And one is that, you know, the judge here is female, and it just goes to show that women can be just as awful to domestic violence victims as men can. The second thing it shows is how the judge knows she's being taped. She knows there's a record of it, and she has no compunction about being cruel and continuing to abuse this poor victim who's crying the whole time. And then lastly, it shows how desperately we need the federal government, particularly the Justice Department, to educate judges and family court judges in particular about the complexity and lethality of domestic violence. Because this was not justice. This was further abuse of a victim, and we cannot allow this to happen in our country.
The prosecutor in the case released a statement saying the victim refused to attend court the day of the trial, going so far as to tell the state attorney's office that she didn't care if she was arrested as a result of her not complying with the court subpoena. How often do you see this where a victim or an alleged victim in cases of domestic violence is sent to jail, found in contempt for not testifying or showing up?
Well, it's rare that somebody is sent to jail, and I think the judge had a lot of options here. She could have given the victim a second chance, showed some compassion and support for this poor woman. But it's a very real problem that we in the domestic violence community must address, that victims often recant, and they do not want to prosecute their abusers. There are very good reasons. They're terrified of facing their abuser in court. They don't want their abuser to be penalized because often they're their financial support. So it's complicated, and we need to give victims the support they need so that they can go to court.
Leslie, thank you so much for joining us and your insight in the story that so many people are talking about as we look at domestic violence awareness. Let me go back to the breaking news regarding Congressman Paul Ryan. His spokesperson just a few minutes ago indicated that Ryan is not running for speaker despite support that he's received. MSNBC's Steve Kornacki joins me now. So, Steve, he's got the support. We were told he was going home to think about it over the weekend to Wisconsin. I don't know if the plane ever got in the air, but what we do know is Paul Ryan is out.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say he's 100% out yet, because I would parse this statement where he says still not running. So he's saying the status hasn't changed. You could add as of yet to that. That still allows the possibility that he goes home for the week.